What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you my banned Jedah 2 deck profile that I made for our Banned Brawlers Campus Championship. So, a little pre-framing, we decided to take the week and play a little bit of a fun competition and take 8 of the banned characters from current standard formation, standard format, and put them in a tournament against each other. And this is the Jedah profile that I had. Let's take a look. All right, so if you haven't seen one of the deck profiles that I've done here on the channel, as opposed to just reading the card off verbatim, word for word, what I do is I kind of give you a little bit of an elevator pitch of how the deck wants to work and then some neat combos inside of the deck. So what does Jedah want to do? Jedah is a character that wants to control my opponent's staging area, give things plus or minus damage, and then have a lot of incremental advantage. Whenever I make Jedah decks, 9 times out of 10, I make them as control decks, and I want to play this mid-range to almost not quite late game, but like this really, really powerful mid-range deck that wants to kill you while I have everything and you have nothing. And so that's normally how I make Jedah decks, and so I wanted to flip the script, change up the mold, and make something that is as aggressive as I can possibly make it. So let's talk about the main interaction of the deck. What this deck wants to do is this deck wants to give you as much momentum as possible and then end your career for it. So the main way that we kill people is with Bleak Concerto Finale. This card says it gets plus X for each of my opponent's momentum. Jedah gets an additional plus X damage, so plus X speed, plus X times 2 damage, and then it burns them for all of the momentum and makes them discard it. So a really easy play is to play the finale, get a bunch of damage, get a bunch of speed, get even more damage, discard their whole momentum, and then use Jedah's once per turn to feed them back into momentum, draw an extra card. Hey, that might have been another finale, and do it all over again. This card's incredibly, incredibly strong. It was the main kill card of the deck, but be careful. It is a 2, and you want to play this as a second card, so checking a finale on a finale could possibly just end the whole game, so just make sure that you're careful of that. Up next, we have 4 Sangue Sacrificial. The reason this card's in here, honestly, is that it says Jedah, discard a momentum, draw 2. It's the only momentum use that we have in the deck. There might be a small asterisk there, but it certainly is the best one. We're not even playing Jedah d'Elemento because it doesn't have the Fury keyword, and I wanted to play a pure Fury deck. The other ability on this card is the fact that it is a Fury and a weapon, so it combos with all my Fury weapon stuff, and it adds one of my bad cards or one of my cards in, and I trade a foundation into the momentum, and so it just makes Concerto a little bit stronger. This card is essentially a 4 low for 7 on any turn. Yeah, it's pretty good. Up next, we're playing 3 Forbidden Moonset. This is just to help with the D-build plan just a little bit. This deck is playing underwater. Here's our first mono water card. And it also has Fury and Weapon, which like just hits perfect for the strategy. And so the goal is that I'm going to take and D-build you with Jedah, D-build you with Moonset, D-build you with Sacrifice, and then constantly and punish you and push you so fast, so hard in the early game. And the reason I get to make all these free plays is because you don't have any foundations on your board to defend yourself. And so I never powerfuled this at all that was relevant in the tournament that I can remember. What mattered was just the D-build and the fact this thing had Fury. Really, really important. The next card that we're playing is Scratch Gelsendo. This is the most universal card in the deck. The fact that this card, it doesn't ever need a combo in order to work with Jedah. Basically, the way that it works is as Jedah, we take and we eat their momentum, and you draw your card, and then with Scratch, you put it into their card pool so that on the next turn, you just eat another foundation with Jedah. This card says destroy 2 foundations off of Jedah because I eat it, stuff it, eat it again on the following turn. Super easy to play by itself, as well as the fact that it's a reversal, and as a reversal, I'm going to stuff my opponent's card pool full, end their turn, and so then I can finale them. And then the last attack, and the reason it is last is because, honestly, it just doesn't even necessarily matter, was Rhythm. This card did not need to be in the deck at all. If you're planning on making this deck for some fun tabletop UFS, remember, these characters are banned. You can't play them in competitive formats. Don't play this card. Or if you want to play this engine, don't play this card. You can just play literally any other attack, Fury, Weapon, whatever. Just play something that's not this card. It was never relevant once. So those were all of my attacks. I want to move on to the actions. And because the main reason I chose to play the deck that I'm playing right now is actually the action Suffer My Bloodlust. And here's why. It says response after your safe or weapon attack resolves, add it to your hand, lose vitality equal to its printed difficulty. Your next attack gets -2 difficulty and +2 damage. So let me tell you about the play. So the main play that I would do whenever I played this card would be I would play Sacrifice or Moonset or whatever, either of these two really good lead-in cards. And then from there, after they resolved, I would play the Suffer My Bloodlust on the 5, pay the 5 life, pick this guy up, and then if you notice, this card has a cute little keyword right here that says Fury. And so from there, I would play the Finale on a -2 difficulty, so on a 5 +1, 6 -2, so I'll play the Finale on a 4, and it still combos, because all the combo cares about is that the word Fury is in the keyword box in order to make the combo work. So I would pick back up my attack and replace it with an action that triggered off my ability. This card won me 2 or 3 matches inside of the tournament all by itself, just because it was really, really fun to play an attack, play Concerto, pick it back up, and then play it again. It gets +X, 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 and then play it again, +X, 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 +2, and this was on like a 5. It was a very, very strong card, to the point where it makes me want to play this combo in other things that aren't Jedah. Yeah, it's not quite as degenerate outside of Jedah, but like it was still strong enough to make me consider it for sure. The last action we're playing is for Yin and Yang. Every single card in our deck, except for Moonset and Sacrifice, are a combo. And being able to pick up and stuff in the cards into my opponent's card pool won me games, and so was picking up the reversal in order to use Jedah and so on and so forth won me games. This card is phenomenal inside of Tira's kit, and sharing 2 symbols, definitely should be looking at this card as we move on into the future of UniVersus. Onto the assets, we're playing 1 Kali Yuga. The deck wants to be aggressive, and being able to pick up Moonset, being able to pick up literally any card except for Scratch, if I have 4 foundations or less, which happens all the time. I'm trying to kill you on 2, and so I don't want to have very many foundations. And just pick it up and then play it again. It's just another a copy of the action that we play. We're playing 1 Drossel. It's a little defense once I'm at Desperation. If you have a momentum, which you will because I'm playing Jedah, put that card in your momentum. You have to have an additional attack in order to kill me. 1 Fiddlesticks. I wanted this just to draw cards. This was never relevant ever. It doesn't need to be in the deck. I wanted it because I like it. Big shout outs to the crew that won it. So, onto the foundations. Let's talk a little bit about the plan, the goal when it comes to the foundations. The first thing that we have to do in order to make sure that our Scratch is live is I need to be able to give you, at any time that I want, 12 momentum, so that I can give +12, +12, +12, and then burn you for 12, and that attack kills everybody in the game. And so the first card that we play is just Murderous Addiction. It's all by itself because it's a little bit of asset hate, but it turns and stuffs that asset into my opponent's momentum, as well as it kind of keeps me alive a little bit, which is another topic of inside of the deck. But it's just a little bit of asset hate. We're playing 1 Save the Sea Rats. My turn. If they have a momentum, take a card from their hand and put it in their momentum, and it's a flip cost, which is really, really important because a lot of our cards either say destroy or commit, which means I'm losing that resource. The fact that I get to flip it and it gets to stay ready is really, really good whenever I want to be aggressive. Committing cards is really tough in a deck that wants to push the aggro game plan. We're playing 4 Unmet Demands. It is a 1 difficulty, which is really important. Building 2 or 3 of these on turn 1 is really strong because I just get to win the game on turn 2. As long as I have as long as I check well enough to leave them ready so that I can destroy them, and they essentially play, say, plus X, plus X, plus X for each one that I have. It's just, and burn 1. And so destroy foundation to give +1 damage, +1 speed, burn 1 is very, very strong. Up next, in a very similar vein as Unmet Demands, is Jolly Gloomy. Once again, it is a 1 difficulty, but instead of destroy, it says commit to take the top card and put it in. And it also says discard a momentum by destroying it, playable while committed, which really feeds into Jedah's ability of, I want you to not have any momentum. And so I'll give you the momentum, and then I'll take it away, and then Jedah once again. Up next, we're playing 3 Spaceland. This says response commit after your opponent adds 1 or more cards to their momentum during the combat phase. They discard 2 momentum. So fun, cool interaction with this. Let's say that they already have a momentum. I've done something, and then I play Sanguia Sacrifice. So the way that the timing works for these 2 cards is I enhance on Sacrifice, and I choose to stuff one of their cards because that's the first line. Enhance your add one of my opponent's foundations to their momentum. Period. From there, they added to their momentum, so I'm going to respond with Spaceland and discard both. And then from there, they get to pick. So they can't like choose my Spaceland before the interaction to dump them all. And so it's possible that I can add one in with Sacrifice, add one in with Sacrifice, add one in with something else, Spaceland them both away, and then add another one in with Jedah. It's possible that this card has really big swingy plays as Spaceland. In addition to mill 2 for 1 damage, we have cards that work on that off the top of our discard pile, as you'll see, and so just milling for no reason is also okay. The last card that we have in a momentum control is a new master. This card's really strong. It's essentially yin and yang on side of our foundation, or it's scratch on side of a foundation. Destroy it to stuff 1 or commit it to stuff 1 from my opponent's momentum to their card pool. Really useful whenever I need to just end my opponent's turn so that I can try and kill them on my turn. Every single one of the characters that we have in this tournament were banned for a reason, and so everybody's just trying to combo off and just kill you. So on to the next section. This section is just called try and the aggro, just kill them section. We're playing Double God of Thunder, and the whole reason of this is if I have accidentally checked one of the 8 2s in my deck and I commit my whole board, I can God of Thunder and ready it back up, and I'm not dead in the water for that turn, either on offense or defense. And the commit for the +2 damage is very useful. For the same reason, we're playing 1 Dreaming of Becoming Whole. This is the only other momentum out that we have. So we'll smack you a couple times and get you in the danger zone. Keep all that momentum, and now my checks have +1, and then readies it up playable while committed. And so I just get to essentially have a free foundation whenever I don't. We're playing triple Ridding the World of Outsiders. This is really strong on the reversal play. So playing scratch, as well as just giving your finale just an additional +3/+3 whenever you need it, or whatever attack that you need it to be. This is really good. Giving having Moonset be your second attack, or using the action in order Suffer My Bloodlust in order to give whatever +2 damage. Well, now it's +2 speed and +4 damage. Next, we've got 1 Champion of Combat. I like this card a lot in water decks. I think it's just a really solid one of. It's just, if my opponent blocks my stuff, my last one makes up for it. And that's all this card really says. It's just my turn, commit, +1 speed, +1 damage for each card in my opponent's card pool. I do have some stuffing happening, but I definitely won some games off of the back of just this card by itself. On the defense, the Please Don't Kill Me cards, we're playing 4 Future Poolside Date. This is that card I was talking about with Spaceland. It says discard pile, gain 2 vitality, only playable if it's the top card of your discard pile. And so just like being able to discard and flip and mill through is really important, as well as it's the only card that wants to interact with Jedah's response on block. I will block with a card, respond with Jedah, destroy Future Poolside Date, putting it on top of my discard pile, and then whenever they play their next attack, I'll gain my 2 life. Very strong. It also has a speed hate by discarding a card. There's plenty of cards. I mean, there's plenty of times you want to discard a Future Poolside Date off of Future Poolside Date, gain your 2, block with Jedah, destroy the Future Poolside Date. It'll be on top. Next attack, go ahead and do it again. Yeah, it's some pretty strong stuff. We're playing 1 Mysterious Mr. X exclusively for the Future Poolside Date interaction. Discard a card, add a foundation to your staging area, and then destroy it. It'll put it on top of my discard pile once it's destroyed, and then my next enhance is gain 2. It's just a discard a card, draw, gain 2 for the rest of the enhanced steps if necessary. We're playing Double Wear-Light. It essentially negates the enhanced step for this attack. I tell my opponent they have to play an enhance on the next on a committed or an enhance that they can't play. If, like, let's say they have a desperation enhance and they're not quite at less than half health, hey, you have to play that or pass. Oh, you're not allowed to? All right, then we'll go to blocks. I'll punish you because I'm Jedah. The last defensive card, if we could call it that, I guess it's a little more disruption, is just Ageless and Wise. A lot of the reasons that these characters got banned in their formats is that it's just pure foundation destruction. Napalm and 1-dots in this format, and so like it doesn't hurt to play this card, and it's just important that like your cool stuff doesn't get blown up for no reason. So Ages of Wise is an important card. On to the one-ofs. These are just the tech pieces, the fun choices that I had. I wanted to play A Sun's Love for two reasons. Number one, drawing cards is always super rad, and two, one of my best defensive plays is to block reversal, add a card into my opponent's card pool, and so making their thing lose safe is important. From here, we've got one Familiar Faces, just cancels an action. One Celestial Being, I don't want to get coffee samba'd. I don't want to get stunned out. Drawing cards is really good. Venomous stops that. It's really playable under the water symbol. I think everybody should be playing this card at least one of inside these symbols. And then one Formidable Task. It works really well with Jedah's block. After you block with this, add it to your staging area. So you can block with Formidable Task, add it to your staging area, committed, respond to Jedah, blow up Formidable Task. It's kind of it kind of just like facilitates everything, as well as just enhance, remove, seal this attack is also very good. All right, so like I said, that was the Jedah 2 profile for our banned brawlers. Just to reiterate one more time, yes, we all know that these characters are banned, they have been banned, but we just wanted to have a little bit of fun with this tournament this week, with all of us being locked in our houses. If you like this deck and you want to see some improvements on it, maybe not just the fact that it's Jedah, but the engine that the deck was running, make sure you leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on how nuts Finale was. Holy cannoli. If you want to go out and support us financially, catch us on patreon.com/TCGUniversity. Subscribe out there at the $1 level, and you can get access to our Discord. I would love to sit down and talk with you. I love talking about Jedah. He's like one of my favorite characters. I'm real bummed he got banned, but it was kind of necessary. And then lastly, if you want to catch the Campus Championships live, they're on Twitch at twitch.tv/TCGUniversity every Tuesday, starting at 6 o'clock. We'll see you there. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching, and stay learned.